Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Tuesday, August 12th, 2025 school board meeting to order. Would everyone please rise for the prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, we call upon you this evening, asking for your guidance in our decision-making. Give us the wisdom to make our judgments based on the best interests of this community and the children we serve. These things we ask in your name.
Ms. Harris, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Ms. Voce.
Mr. Campbell?
Here.
Ms. Harris?
Here.
Ms. Creason? Ms. Lee Bowman is not with us. Mr. Long?
Here.
Ms. Dysart is not here this evening. Ms. Lemoyne?
Here.
Ms. Rodney?
Here.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Here.
Mr. Warner?
Here.
And Ms. White?
Thank you. And Mr. Long, I believe you wanted to
Oh,
take a
yes.
point of privilege.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Lemoyne. We had a former school board member that passed away recently, Miss Judy Labatt, and I'd like to have a moment of silence. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And our condolences go out to the Labatt family.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Okay. Agenda item number 2 is an education committee item. Ms. White.
Thank you. Agenda 2.1 is consideration of St. Bernard Parish Public Schools 2025-2026 pupil progression plan. And to present, hi, Ms. Carola.
So, good afternoon or good evening. We have, in your folder is a proposed pupil progression form. When you approve it, when Ms. Voce signs it, we will submit it to the state by October 31st. Just, there's very few changes from last year, which I kind of outlined them on the first page. If you go to section, this page, that section and that page, you can read it in its entirety. It's mostly about this course choice, which has a lot to do with high school, and if you read it, it just, nothing we added, but what the state added, that we are making sure that we afford our students the courses that they need to get whatever kind of tops they want or whatever along the way, that they're being counseled on that. And in section 10 on page 15 is the information about the Louisiana Gator scholarship that provides families with educational scholarship accounts, and there's a lot more in there about that in page section 10, page 15. That is the only changes, and it wasn't changes that we made, it's changes from the state.
Thank you. Do we have any questions from the board? Mr. Long?
I'd like to make a motion to recommend to the board the pupil progression plan.
We have Mr. Long. Do we have a second? And second from Carly. Could you cast your votes, please?
Mr. Campbell? Motion passes 9. Let's see, Mr. Warner? Okay, motion passes 9-0.
Thank you.
Back to you, Carly. Catherine.
Okay, thank you, Ms. White. Okay, agenda item number 3.1 are personnel changes for August 2025, and we have Ms. Alvarez with us this evening.
Hi, good evening, board. In your folders, you'll see personnel changes since our last board meeting of appointments and transfers and retirements.
Mhm. Yes, I do see we have one retirement on the, or actually two retirements on the list this evening. And the first is Sandra Nucio, who is a school nurse with us, and I know she's served at several different schools for many years. And so we want to wish her a happy retirement. It looks like she'll still be with us for several more months, but we want to thank her for her service. And then also Deborah Scarpero, a Chalmette preschool paraeducator. And we want to wish her congratulations and thank her for her many years of service. Any questions for Ms. Albers? Mr. Long?
Yes, Ms. Albers, are we fully staffed for the current school year?
We are almost fully staffed. We just have a few more vacancies to fill, but very few.
Okay, and do we have any problems with like bus drivers or anything like in previous years?
No, I think buses, we're pretty staffed on bus drivers. We actually have some folks even in the queue, so we're looking really well on bus drivers.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Long. Any other questions for Ms. Albers? We know you have been very busy making sure to staff all the positions for the new school year, and we just want to thank you for all of your hard work. And once again, thanks to all of the new hires that are joining us for this school year.
All right, thank you, Dr. Lamont.
Thank you. Okay, agenda item number 4 is Executive Committee. Mr. Warner.
Thank you, Dr. Lamont. Item 4 is an executive committee. It's consideration, 4.1 is consideration of adopting revision of school board policy IFA. The keeper of the policy,
It's that time
Mr.
again.
Morales.
It is that time again. Y'all will see me probably the next 2 or 3 months. So there are 6 changes to policies. Again, these are all based on state law or Bessie policy. 2 of the ones you'll see are actually, about one of them is a Bessie policy, and then the other 2 are legislation from last year, but we'll get there. The first one is 4.1 IFA instructional materials. It is an updated policy based on Act 103 of this 2025 legislative session. Act 103 revises how parents can access instructional materials, including adding access to materials online. Changes also include providing paper copies made on school equipment for reasonable fees, and states that no fee shall be charged for in-person viewing when a parent accesses materials online. Also, it states that no fee shall be charged for a parent who uses their own device for making copies. The act also includes language that other materials may be made available at the discretion of the school board, and that the required access to instructional materials only applies to adopted curriculum. Now, again, if you want to look at it, it is in there. As far as our policy is concerned, the red strike through means we're taking that out, and then the blue underline means that that is what we're adding to the policy.
I think that one's pretty straightforward. Any question from board members? Dr. Lemoyne?
So the revisions here put us in line with the new requirements for Act 103?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Well, if so, then I'll go ahead and make a motion that we send this to the full board.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Dr. Lemoyne, seconded by Mrs. White. Please cast your vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
All right, 4.2.
4.2 is JBD, student absences and excuses. Again, it is updated policy based on a Bessie policy change to Bulletin 741. And just to let you know, Bulletin 741 is hundreds of pages, so I only printed out the section that this particular piece is pertaining to. Policy JBD reflects revisions made by Bessie in 2024. The new language in section 105 of Bulletin 741 divides absences into 3 categories: excused absences, unexcused absences, and suspension or expulsion. It also specifies that a student who is absent, including a suspended student, shall be allowed to submit assignments and tests as eligible to receive the same academic credit and grades originally available when the work was completed, satisfactory, and in a timely manner.
Questions from board members?
So the policy that's in place now states that if you have like an unexcused absence, the teachers don't have to allow you to make up the work. This changes that.
It changes, the really only thing it changes is the 3 categories. There were like 4 categories. It kind of just cleaned up a little language in it.
Mhm.
Again, so as far as that is concerned, that would be up to the teacher principal as well.
Okay.
And then as far as like turning in assignments, we added some things for students that were suspended. So like, you know, some places used to say that they couldn't turn in work if they were suspended, but that is not how the law is written. So not that we've ever done that, but that's what the law stated. So we just want to make sure that our policy is in line with everything in Bulletin 741.
Mrs. Lemoyne.
Yes, so again, this assures that we are in line with the new revisions to
Yes.
Bulletin 741. So I'll go ahead and make a motion that we send this to the full board.
We have a motion by Dr. Lemoyne, seconded by Mr. Long. Please cast your vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
4.3 IFBGA, Student Computer Access and Use. Again, these, both 4.3 and 4.4 are updated based on legislative acts that passed last year. A lot of this is tied to what was called Let Teachers Teach movement, where they started to repeal some of the trainings that teachers and students had to go through. So Act 686 of the 2024 legislative session repealed Louisiana Revised Statute 17280, which addressed student training for internet and cell phone use, which has been deleted from the computer access and use policy. And again, it's not that we don't do these things. This is just something that was passed to say we can take this out, and then it's up to the schools how they want to pursue these endeavors.
Makes sense to me.
I'll make a motion to send it to the board.
Have a motion by Mrs. White, seconded by Mr. Campbell. Please cast your vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
4.3 is 4.4 is JCDAF, bullying and hazing. Again, this was part of the same Act 686 of the 2024 legislative session. And it basically amended the teacher training on bullying and hazing from Revised Statute 17416, which has been amended in the bullying and hazing policy. So we are going to do, of course, new teacher training on bullying and hazing as soon as they get hired, and then we are giving it to our employees on an every other year basis from now on. And just so y'all know, that is via Vector Safe Schools training. I know y'all have seen that same platform, but we use that for our teacher education as well. There are numerous trainings they go through in the first 30 days, in the first year, and then some that they do every year, some they only have to do once.
Great, so we have a motion by Mrs. Creason, seconded by Ms. Keesa. Rodney, all in favor? Cast your sheet.
Motion passes 9-0.
4.5 is JGCE, which is related to child abuse. Again, this is an updated policy based on Act 195 of this legislative session. So Act 195 states that any school resource officer that suspects child abuse or neglect, or if a mandatory reporter of child abuse reports suspected child abuse to a school resource officer, the school resource officer shall immediately notify the officer's employing law enforcement agency or the Department of Child and Family Services. The officer's employer shall assign the investigation of the matter to the most appropriate law enforcement officer, who may be the school resource officer. So again, they passed the law, and we just kind of cleaned up our policy to match what the law says.
Motion by Mrs. Creason,
I'll second it.
seconded by Mrs. White. Please cast your vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
And then the last policy we have today is JGCF, Behavioral Health Support for Students. This is based on Act 504 of the 2025 legislative session. Act 504 requires that each public school make available to each student in grades 3 through 12 a mental health assessment by a licensed behavioral health provider, so long as it is annually authorized by his or her parent or legal guardian. The Act defines licensed behavioral health providers and where a list of providers may be located. The assessment shall be provided to the appropriate students at no cost to the school board.
Mrs. Harris.
Thank you. I have more of a question about implementation of this policy. What does implementation look like on campuses?
Well, we're in the process of getting that together with our special education department. We have supposedly we now have to inform parents that these assessments are available and give them a list of providers that could provide this. If it wished to be done on the campus, we can allow it to be done on our school campus, but it's at no cost to the school board. It would be a parental responsibility, but we have to make it known that they do have that, that can occur on our campus if they so choose.
All right, thank you.
Mrs. Rodney.
Thank you. As, I know you said that there will be a list created. Are we looking to make sure that list is like Medicaid providers, being that a large population of our student body are low income and may use Medicaid? Because the cost of those assessments can be a low cost.
They're supposed to be working with the Department of Health to provide those lists for us.
Okay.
And I know that they will make sure that they are on that,
Okay.
you know, that Medicaid providers are on that list.
Sounds good.
All right.
Very good question. Mr. Long.
I mean, am I reading this right? Does this involve just special ed students?
No, this would be
All
any,
students?
that would be any child whose parents would like them to be screened for potential mental health issues.
Okay.
And if you see, like, even to Ms. Rodney's question, if you see number 1 and number 2, and under it, schools may locate a current list of licensed mental health professionals who are authorized to conduct mental health assessments by contacting the individual licensing boards who regulate the licensed professionals. Schools may locate a current list of behavioral health service providers licensed by the Louisiana Department of Health through the Department of Health's website. So we've been told that that is going to be provided through the Department of Health with a list of the licensed providers.
And how does that compare with what we have now in effect?
Well, what we have now, it's if we feel, we do have screeners at some point, and if we feel that there may be a potential for a particular problem, then we try to refer that child, you know, the parent of that child, to current providers here within the parish. The sad part about it is, and I know Ms. Rodney's very, you know, works in that field very closely, that it's just so few of those providers here in St. Bernard Parish. Many times the references will go to agencies within the greater New Orleans area where our parents would have to travel. Now, if these providers are willing to come to our campus to provide that assessment, this law is allowing that to occur.
Okay. So it could be initiated by either the parent or the
Or
school
us.
system? Okay.
Correct. Through the parent, of course.
Through the parent?
Right.
Okay.
We can't just go ahead and do that. It has to have parental permission.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Motion from the board. What say ye, board?
I'll make a motion that we send this to the full board with a
Dr.
recommendation.
Lemoyne, motion, seconded by Mr. Rodriguez. All in favor, cast your vote.
Motion passes 9-0.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
Thank you, great job.
Thank you.
Back to you, Dr. Lemoyne.
Thank you, Mr. Warner. Okay, agenda item number 5.1 are superintendent's notes. Ms. Foche.
Just that we went through a lot this summer for training of our staff, our administrators, our teaching staff, and many of our support groups. We had a very good opening on Friday where we welcomed many of our students. As of day 3 right now, because this is the 3rd day of school, things are going really well. I think, you know, we had a smooth opening. And I just want to also remind people that August 29th, with the 20th anniversary of the devastation caused by Hurricane Katrina, we will have our Day of Reflection breakfast, as we do every year. This year it will be on August 29th, and tickets are available by contacting Miss Berthaud here, Angie, and we will work with anyone who wishes to purchase tickets for the event.
And what's the cost of the tickets?
I'm sorry?
What's the cost? of the ticket-
$15 a seat, and we
Okay.
have tables of 8, that'd be $120 for a table.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Foche. And again, on behalf of the board, we just want to thank all of our staff members and our families and all of our students for such a smooth and positive beginning of the school year. And with that, is there a motion to adjourn? Okay, I have a motion on the floor by Mr. Campbell, seconded by Ms. Harris. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you and good night.